kept it tight. You were trying to drag it out.
Dude, I'm improvising. We're jamming right now, and right now you're blowing it.
Okay, you're right. I appreciate a good improv sesh as much as the next.
Baker is not happy about it.
I don't blame you. Hi, Baker. Hi, buddy.
Hey, Baker. So today's exciting.
Today's so exciting. We got a friend of the show. Let's just call him a friend of the show, and a very patient man. Chris Lane is joining us, and we're so glad to see you, Chris. Thank you again.
Good to see y'all, man.
Can we just talk about what happened last time in a nutshell?
Let's just make it real fast and quick because I don't. Gary's on the edge right now. I wasn't
going to say anything, anyone's names, but you just did. Gary screwed up.
I sure did.
Gary screwed up.
sure did.
He ruined. We did a podcast with Chris.
He
ruined and wrecked everything. Okay.
I wouldn't have said it like that, Gary. Just so
Chris knows.
So what happened was, friends, we had Chris on the show earlier. We taped a Dynamite episode.
It was maybe the best one we ever
did.
the
best. It was the best we've ever done. And then somebody forgot to hit record.
Gary.
So I didn't say it.
You can never trust a man in a Kansas City Chiefs hoodie, you know?
Son of a biscuit. Did you hear it? He's coming in swinging.
He's coming in hot on the Chiefs.
Dude.
Don't be a hater, Chris. Now, are you hating because all the country's hating, or are you just tired of the Chiefs racking up championships?
No, you know what? I'm tired of my own team, the Carolina Panthers, sucking so bad. So I feel like it helps me mentally to rag on somebody else's team, even though you've basically won every game this season so far.
So I want to thank you too, by the way, and I'm being very sarcastic when I say this.
That's awesome.
I want to, because I'm in a pool, a pick'em pool or whatever, and I pretty much could always guarantee that whoever's playing the Panthers was going to win that week.
Wow.
And and then the one time I said, okay, this week I'm taking this Panthers game as because it's a suicide. You get to pick one game. But once you pick that team, you can't pick them again. And it was a lock. Yeah. It was a lock. And the Panthers won.
Wow.
They won like 2 or 3 games all season. And the one time I picked them.
Crazy.
Yeah, they sabotaged me.
I hadn't picked them one game this year, so better than me, man.
I understand it's snowing there where you are.
It is absolutely pouring
Can
snow.
You show us? Can you show us?
I'll show you. Here's what it looks like in my dog.
Oh, hey, there's your dog, Cooper.
Coop.
Making himself at home in the big
Look at that.
Whoa!
Look at that. That's beautiful.
That's a winter wonderland. It's coming down as we speak.
You know what? I honestly hate snow. I don't know why, but I got out there earlier with the kids, and I actually had a good time in it.
Is that why you're wearing the overalls?
Yeah, because we're about to go back out there. They woke up from their naps, and they're asking me to take them back out there.
Well, we won't take much of your time because I definitely don't want to get in the kids' way of.
Don't get in the way of Baker.
Of good times on the snow because that's.
Oh, Baker's over here just chilling right now.
Dude, man,
he's killing it. Oh, he's got the remote. He's got the remote, which means he's already started his man training.
So
exactly.
you're in the Nashville-ish area, right?
Yeah, live in Nashville. Have for about 10 years now, and love it, man. It's such a great place to be, especially for what I do, and really for songwriting. I think you can kind of be an artist from anywhere in the country if you chose to be, but we have the best songwriters in the world right here in Nashville, and it just makes it the spot to be if you're going to be writing all the time.
I would say it's like a music laboratory down there.
Oh yeah.
And
how often do you write with other people? Like how many times a week?
Man, it kind of depends. If I'm out on tour over the weekend, sometimes I'll take writers out on my bus with me, and I'll take the week off so I can be at home with the kids. Or if I'm not touring that weekend, I'll try to write 2 or 3 times that week to feel like I'm making a difference and doing something for myself.
And
you just had a song come out this last fall called "If I Die Before You." And, that's a great song. How's it been doing? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, man. It kind of felt like one of those songs that could be a career song, which would be incredibly nice to have. 10, 11 years into my career right now, to have another career song would be huge. So I'm praying, fingers crossed. You never know. We're a month or 2 in at this point, and it's kind of hard to tell exactly where this song's going to go right now. And I say that because we just went through Christmas break. You know, people
Yeah.
generally start listening to Christmas music, and
Yes, absolutely.
it makes it harder to judge in the moment if you have a big song on your hands. So we're just getting the year kicked off, and you know, I'll be out on tour with Rascal Flatts coming up. So getting in front of a lot of people every night always helps when you have a new song out. But I actually have another one coming out on January 31st.
Oh,
It
that's
is
this
by
month.
far, yeah, by far my favorite song I've ever written in my entire life. I've never heard a country song about this, and it's like the countryest song ever. I don't know how I was the first one to ever think of this idea, but I played it out about 5 times acoustically in front of, you know, maybe 1,500, 2,000 people a night, and it has gotten the biggest response of any song in my career, and it's not even out yet. So I have really high hopes for it. It's called "What Am I Supposed to Tell the Dog?" and it is
That's
a
great.
good one.
That sounds like the most country song I've ever heard too. That's
I
a
agree. It's
great
like,
title.
I had this title in my phone for 3 years, and I could never figure out how to write it. I just knew I loved the way it looked on
Yeah.
paper. And about 2 months ago, I sat down with another guy that I love writing songs with, and I told him I had this idea, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, we have to write that! I cannot believe that is the countryest title I've ever heard. I can't believe no one's ever written that song before." We sat down and wrote it, and I truly, honestly believe, and I'm saying this with my fingers crossed, that it could be a life-changing song for me.
Oh, that's so
Wow.
awesome. I love that. I hope it is. I hope
I
it
hope
is.
it is too.
As artists, you never freaking know.
Yeah.
You
That's
you
right.
throw them out into the world, and sometimes what you think people are going to go for, they don't, and then they surprise you with what they actually do go for.
Isn't that the truth? I've heard so many, and you're right. And Darren, you experience this too with the music that you create.
Yeah.
And I experience it like in film and television. You make things and you think, I think it's good, but it doesn't fly. Or then you make something, you're like, it was pretty good, and then people just devour it, and you there's no rhyme or reason. It just it's this weird, I guess, time and place, and if it hits, if it resonates at a certain time in a certain way.
I think. So my question: when you finally sat down with that guy, how long did it take you guys to come up with, say, a verse and chorus?
This song, believe it or not, I'm not even making this up. It fell out in 45 minutes, we were just the whole time we were laughing, and we were like, "This is the saddest song I've ever heard." Because it's like couples get together, and when you get a dog together, and then they split up, it's like who gets to keep the dog? And then we tried to write it a little bit from the dog's perspective. It's like he doesn't realize he didn't do anything wrong. This other person that he loved is just all of a sudden out of his life, and it's like, what am I supposed to tell the dog now that you're gone? Kind of idea.
That's heavy.
It's a interesting way to approach a very tough subject.
I find it fascinating that it took you 3 years and 45 minutes to write it. You know what I mean?
That's funny. Yep. It just sat there. I couldn't get anybody to. I'd thrown that idea out in a room a couple times before, but couldn't get anybody to bite on it because no one really knew where to take it. And sometimes you just someone hears that idea and they're like, "Oh, I know exactly what to do with this." And once we started it, it literally just fell out so fast.
Yeah, I've heard stories, and this is your world, both you guys, more than mine, but I've heard stories of some of the greatest songs ever written. And when they interview the artist, they're like, "Yeah, I wrote that on a plane flying from Dallas to Kansas City or something." And you're like,
it's
what?
fascinating when it makes me wonder, and I know this sounds spacey. It makes me wonder, was that song just kind of out there and it needed you two to channel it through, or was that something? I find it fascinating where songs come from because sometimes it feels like it's already written and it just needed to go through you. Or, some artists are like, it was out there and I just kind of caught it,
Yeah.
It's weird. Sometimes they feel forced and sometimes they feel effortless like you're describing.
Yeah, like a divine intervention.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my biggest songs, a song called Big Big Plans. It was a song that I used to proposed to my girlfriend, now wife, and ended up being a massive song for my career. It took me three different times to write that song and to finish it. So they're all definitely different when you sit down to write them, but you really love the ones that just fall out so
Yeah.
fast. You're not banging your head off the
when you
wall.
rewrote it 3 times, so that you did the first version, right? And was that the one you played for your wife, or
No,
did you
I didn't
waited?
play it for. Yeah, I didn't play it for it until I finished it. And again, it kind of just started out as a normal song, just a normal love song that I was writing, and I knew I was going to be proposing in the next couple months, and I said, you know what? Why don't I try to write a proposal in the third verse? It was never a song that was even meant to like go out into the world. It was just a moment for us,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared that moment online, and it took off. And I think the song's like 5 times platinum now, so it was a life changer.
That's
That is
awesome.
right there.
That's awesome.
That is proof that if you do something for yourself that you really love, like that, you only do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
People will vibe on it way more than you going, well, dude, this is the flavor of the week. We got to do something like this.
Yeah.
That generally, if you can feel it.
I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think if you write whatever it is, anything really, but if you write it for yourself,
That's it.
because I think people think their experience is individual,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more shared than people realize.
Yeah.
Do you write? This is a random question, but do you write movie scripts? And I'm sorry, I don't know the actual answer
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
I wonder how different it is from writing a song. Or if you can do that, I feel like you could sit down and write a song.
Yeah, I don't know obviously, you got to get your 10,000 hours in, so to speak,
Oh,
to
yeah.
become good at anything. But I've never tried, to be honest with you. I've never tried to write a song, never even crossed my mind. But I did talk to Mary Steenburgen, a wonderful actress. She's a legendary actor. I did a movie with her called Step Brothers. And we would sit and talk a lot, and she told me she had recently discovered songwriting and how much it meant to her, and how wonderful. And she said it just came naturally. She goes, I didn't even know I could do it, and she just tapped into it, and she absolutely loves it. So, yeah, it's an interesting thought. I'm always thinking in comedic terms when I'm writing a script and a concept and big set pieces and what could happen. And but it's like anything. Sometimes I'll sit down to write something, and 20 pages just flow out of you, and you're like, where did that come from? And they're good pages. They're not redos. They're like, that's a good 20 pages right there. And then sometimes you will labor for weeks on 5 pages.
Yeah.
And you have it'll get there, but man, that was an uphill climb the whole way. So
Do you ever see that? There's an interview with Bob Dylan and Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes, and Ed Bradley, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said, hey, the songs that you wrote early on, the legendary stuff, are you proud of that? He goes, and Bob Dylan's answer was so amazing. You guys should look this up, and Gary, maybe you could pull it up. He answers like, at one point in my life, I could write those songs. I don't know where those songs came from. It's some kind of magic. And he says, it's not like David Copperfield magic. It's a whole different, he goes, and he starts reciting.
Something like a spiritual realm?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about his early lyrics, and he goes, I can't. And then Ed Bradley goes, can you, could you do that again? He goes, no, I can't. He goes, I can do other things now, but I can't do that. And I just got the chills. It's fascinating, because that songwriting, writing books or movies, and being creative and channeling stuff like that. It comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't know where the hell it comes from, and and nobody can pin it down. Otherwise, somebody would just be like, "Yep, I'm going to write another blasting hit right now." Boom. But you don't.
Exactly.
You got to write 100 crappy songs or mediocre or good to write a great song.
Well, I think there's inspiration.
Agreed.
Some people think there's muses out there. You know? And I don't know. Do you have a muse, Chris? Do you have something that inspires you, or a person that when you see it sparks a thought? Or
I mean, honestly, yeah, I feel like I've got a different set of inspirations now that I'm married, have kids, all that kind of stuff.
Sure,
but I don't know. I think it just comes from experiences. You also have people that come up to you, meet and greets or after shows and all that kind of stuff, and they'll tell you a story. that may make you think of something. But I feel like this is weird, but I feel like I get most of my ideas when I'm riding on the mower.
Yes.
That is
not the mower, but I'm with you. A morning run. They say that this is what I've heard. Right when you wake up and right when you're falling asleep, you are the most relaxed you are at any time of the day. And so all the whatever the business, the buzz in your head evaporates, and you get a fluidity. You get a fluidity of thought and creativity. And that's why they say keep a pad of paper, right? Because I've woke up in the morning, I was like, please don't forget this idea because it's a good idea. And of course, by the time I got my coffee, I already forgot it. So that's why I need to write this stuff down, because I have and as I'm drifting off, I'll have great ideas.
Dude, 5 a.m. morning studio sessions for me. Like I wake up early because I'm an old guy. Yeah. I wake up early. First thing I do is go sit down with a guitar, piano, and because I have nothing to fill it, and I'm the most creative. Then I go play golf.
Naturally, put it there.
Come on,
I back
you know
that.
What I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's studio, golf, and then it used to be, okay, wife, what do you need me to do? Not so much anymore. But that's when I find I'm the most creative, and I feel like, because if you're in the middle of the afternoon, you're like, okay, I got to go do a songwriting session. You're like, oh, I just went to the grocery store. Is Baker cool? Oh God, we got to take Cooper to whatever the things are. Mm-hmm. You have a blank slate to be creative. You have a studio in your house?
A little one, man, but I always go out and write, usually with a producer that has a much better setup and can actually produce the song.
Like our mutual friend Jay DeMarcus.
That's right. Jay
he knows how to do that.
He's got a little setup in his dojo. Yeah, he's got a setup in his dojo.
Here in Nashville, I've always been curious. I just had this conversation with somebody 2 days ago when I was writing, but for some reason, someone started the rights at 11 o'clock, and everybody kind of just stuck with that. And I've learned by 11 o'clock, because I wake up so early with my boys, my brain is basically cooked. So I'm always asking guys, hey, would you want to write at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. when my brain's actually like functioning the best at that time, like you were talking about. And a lot of people just won't do it. They're so used to writing at 11 a.m. But I feel like I've always got the best songs from writing early in the morning.
I agree.
I think it's like both, like y'all are saying, you're just more clear-headed in the morning time. By 11 o'clock, I'm cooked, you know?
Totally. You're like, oh, God, I got to do this and that. And then you're just...
Well, the day gets in the way.
It's hard.
The day will always get in the way. The to-do list starts mounting, you know. The same thing with working out. You know, my old gunnery sergeant made us work out.
First thing,
because nothing can get in the way. You get out from your bed into your running shoes, go, and then whatever happens the rest of the day, it's not going to interfere with your PT. You're always going to get your PT done.
That's why I always book my dental appointments at 8 a.m. I go first of the day, because if I'm left, if I have a whole day to go, ooh, I got to cancel this. Yeah. I make sure there's no chance to not do it.
Yeah, so the riding mower is your I guess your beat laboratory.
Yeah, that a lot of times, basically, I tend to get so many voice memos of melodies, just all kinds of stuff, and ideas. And I also feel like I get lots of ideas when I'm playing golf. That's another place that I feel like my creative brain just works for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, you know what? So when you find yourself going, God, I haven't written a song in a minute. Let me go mow the lawn.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And then the wife's also like, man, he really cares about that lawn.
We've got the greatest lawn in America.
And he's really working hard around the house. He's really helping out.
But secretly,
I can't remember if I told y'all this last time, but all the way up until the day I got a record deal, I was a landscaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did tell us that.
That's right.
So I know how to do. I know how to mow the yard real well.
So did
and
you?
That's you probably learned the art of the mind vacation while you were landscaping, because you needed those mind vacations. And
exactly.
So I don't blame you.
Did you design the landscaping at your home, or did you have someone do it?
Yeah, we had somebody do it. I was never great at like the design aspect of it, but I'm really great at keeping it up. I'm really great at making it look like a
A nursery.
golf, yeah, like a golf course out here
Ooh.
on a
Oh,
mullet or a outfield, in a major
how's your
league
game?
stadium.
How's your
You're talking our language. If you could make your dojo look like a golf course,
you're good with us?
then you're really good with us.
Yeah.
That's our favorite place. I'm not speaking for you, but I'm assuming it's one of all of our favorite places to be.
A golf course?
Yeah.
My favorite place in
Yeah.
the world, man.
There we go.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Clearly mine too.
Yeah.
It's the
I wish
best.
I didn't suck so bad though.
Well,
How's your game? How's your game right now? Where are you at?
I'm at a 10 right now, and I'm trending in the incorrect direction.
I'm at a 9.8, and I'm trending the same way. So I'm
No,
right with you. And then
don't do that.
scratch golfer over here is trying to get strokes.
No.
I think we might have talked about this last time, but
Oh yeah, we did.
Every
he's
time,
scratch
dude.
golfer, and
I'm not.
he's always like you can only have one stroke per 9.
No,
I'm like, what? That didn't even add up.
First of all, I don't talk like that. Secondly,
he
I
did.
didn't say that. I'm a 3, and you're like a 7. And so if
You know
you
what
do
I'd
the
give to be a
math,
3?
yeah, I know. He
You know
plays
what I
a
would
lot
give
of golf.
to be a 3?
dude, I played a lot of golf.
Yeah.
I played a lot in the
Would
pandemic.
y'all go play on tour?
Oh yeah, totally. We throw clubs under the bus. Well, you do the more Nashville weekend warrior stuff, right?
Yep.
So we go for like 2 months at a time, and if the weather, if the season permits, we will golf everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And like throw the clubs under the bus. I'd look, what city are we in tomorrow? I start doing the recon. Oh, what golf course? And I enjoy the research. I'm like, oh, okay, let's see. It's like I look at what type of grass is on the greens. I'm super into it. I want
And
to
he
go
won't
play.
give me strokes. He won't give me strokes.
Dude.
He does this kind
I'm
of
with you.
research. It's unbelievable.
I'll give you research. I'll give you strokes.
That sounds like me. I'm always looking far ahead. Like I got my first real taste of like super nice golf courses when I was on tour with Rascal Flats back in 2017, and they would always have a like a tour course set up in the morning time.
Yep.
And I got really spoiled on that tour. But one thing they said, they were like, "Hey, everywhere we play at, you're going to be on lots of tours over the next 10 years. Make sure you make the contacts, and every time you come back through here, you always have a place to play." And I have done that every single time I'm playing a show. I look far in advance to know where I can go play golf at.
So smart.
Dude.
So
know what?
smart.
That will keep you sane on tour. I mean,
I agree. I can't sit on that daggone bus all day, man.
Dude.
It's hard.
dressing rooms, green rooms, buses, they get old fast.
Super fast.
Like if you get a chance to go golf on tour, first of all, you're playing different courses around the world, and you get to experience different views, and the game is what it is. We love the effing game, right? But it keeps that balance of, because you're in venues, whether it's an amphitheater, a club, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It all starts to be Groundhog Day, and so getting out there, smelling the grass, playing this game that we love, that for me is that balance.
Well,
right there.
and Chris, you're an athlete. You were a very good athlete, from what I understand. And the last time we talked, I think we touched on
Baseball.
some of your athletic prowess. Baseball was part of that, right?
Baseball was big, right?
Big, yeah. You were.
Yeah. Played college ball. Always thought that would be what I'd be doing after college. Never did I ever think that I'd be playing music. It all worked out for the best. But I have an identical twin brother who plays drums for me. He got drafted by the Reds, decided not to play. So we were both always really good at sports growing up, particularly football and baseball.
Yeah. That's awesome. What'd you think of this football season?
Man, well, it's been a tough one for me. Obviously, as a Carolina Panther fan, it has been very, very hard to watch and enjoy. As far as college goes, I'm a Clemson Tiger, so the fact that we were able to sneak into a playoff after how we ended our season was nothing short of a miracle, and then get absolutely romped by Texas. That was a tough one to take.
Yeah. Well, are you in fantasy leagues at all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you do in your fantasy league this past year?
Well, I won both fantasy leagues last year, and I got so I got so caught up on Sundays with my kids being so young that once I lost 3 out of 4 games to start my season, I gave up and I stopped looking at it.
That happens to in a lot of leagues.
You know,
I came in dead last, by the way.
Oh, did you?
I was in 2 leagues. I came in dead last in one, and I was middle the other one. So I don't know. It was a really hard year.
Yeah,
a lot of injuries.
Donated money to the.
I'm hearing excuses from both of you guys. Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of excuses. I got the kids. I was busy. I don't know, man.
First of all, I don't talk like that.
You kind of do.
I don't talk like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't do that at all.
Little Sylvester Stallone.
That's totally different.
Kind of lost, hey.
Anyway, I took a savage beating in fantasy this year. I was not happy about
same.
it. So that's always painful to do.
When do you leave for tour?
At least you got your Chiefs, though, bro.
Yeah.
You do. I can't say anything because I think I'm moving there.
Something this right. Look, the 20s have been great as far as football goes.
Yeah.
I've only had one light in the 20s, and it's been this. It's been this guy.
That's it. That's the only thing.
In the 20s, the 20s been rough.
Okay.
But this has been really nice.
Good.
This has been really nice.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad for you.
Yeah, thanks,
and your
man.
little sweatshirt.
Oh,
that's awesome.
snap.
When do you go on tour? When do you leave?
That tour starts February 13th, I believe.
So while you're home until the 13th, what do you do every day besides dad?
Yeah, so I try to write as many songs as I can. I've been in the studio a lot more, trying to get as many songs recorded before I get out there and get super busy with touring. And then at the end of this month, it's like the 27th through the February 2nd, something like that, I go playing this celeb pro-am down in, which, Rob, I know you do a lot of these as well,
Yeah,
which is
and
where
whenever I can.
I originally first met you, was there in Greenville.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
there's one in Orlando called the Hilton Grand Vacation Tournament of Champs, and like the ones that you play in, you just pair up with the Tour Pro. The cool part about this one in particular is all the celebs are competing for a side pot of $500,000, and you play a stable forward condition. It's so much fun.
What?
I gotta get on the list. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Me too.
It's fun. Y'all should definitely join in on that one.
What's the date on that?
It's January 27th through February 2nd. It's in Orlando.
That's
You know
awesome.
what's crazy?
That's so awesome. I hope you win.
I'm not even kidding.
With your game,
Definitely
I
not
bet-
going to win.
Oh, I think you could. I think you
No,
could.
as you know, as I know you play with him in all those tournaments, but Marty Fish always wins.
Oh, Fish is going to be there. Yeah.
Oh
Fish
yeah,
is-
it's all the same guys that play in the
in the American
and
Century.
all the other ones. Tahoe, it's mostly the same peeps, and everybody's just so much better than I am.
Well, I do hear you on the fact that like the Marty Fishes and the Tony Romos and those, if those guys are playing, you know, they could be out on the mini tour there. They could be out on the Corn Ferry.
Yeah,
if they
I
wanted.
agree.
Remember when Tony Romo tried to go pro?
Yeah, I think he played in a couple Corn Ferry tournaments.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got the skill set. It's crazy.
Dude, the difference though.
Well, let me put it this way. Sorry. Let me put it this way. I hope you get a taste of some of that 500K. Just
Yeah.
a taste.
Well, long story short, I got a check last year. I can't. At some point after the tournament, I got a check, and I'm like, "What's this for?" Because, you know, I finished middle to probably. I think there's maybe 50 celebs, and I probably finished 35th out there.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And here's the thing. I don't know how it works at all of them, but for this one, if you accept the money, you turn pro.
That's right.
And so most guys, I guess, who are up there are like, no, because I want to be able to compete as an AM. I'm never going to compete at anything. So I just said, yeah, I'll accept the money, thinking there's no way I'll ever win. So the money trickles down to the guys who are pro.
Yeah. That's the best part.
So I actually got a check, and I was like, wait, how the heck did I get this much money? This was incredible.
So you're a professional golfer.
Exactly.
You can literally call yourself a professional golfer.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That feels good.
Hey, if I win money off of you, am I a professional golfer?
No, not the same. But I'm a professional golfer. I am a professional golfer.
You've won money.
What's up?
What's up? So I got to give a professional golfer strokes? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. That's BS.
All right, that didn't work in my favor at all.
No.
That was a screw up.
No.
Hey, Chris, thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, brother.
I don't want to interrupt the snow time with your fam. I do know it's hilarious in Nashville if it snows. The town comes unraveled. I was down there.
Oh, my gosh.
I was doing stand-up at Zany's many years ago.
Yeah.
And it snowed. And you could see, because people were in the audience, I go, hey, folks, it's snowing outside. And the room got deathly quiet.
Oh, God.
And I could see, I go, you all tomorrow, first things first, they're going to raid the grocery stores.
Yep. 100%.
They're going to buy all the water, all the toilet paper, and then everybody's going to freak out on the roads, and they're going to be swerving into ditches when it's really not, it's not that bad.
Wow. I agree. It's nuts here. Like the whole town shuts down. The airport canceled basically every flight in here today.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a rough one.
It's crazy. People, and it's not just Nashville. It's the southern, get below the Mason-Dixon line, and you get snow.
Game over.
People, it is the sky falling. It's panic.
Yeah, people have no clue what's going on. It's just weird.
Dude, I got to say, this may not be for the podcast, but I am going to be in Orlando from January 24th through the 29th.
Let's go, bro.
When are you getting down there? Let's go figure out a round.
I get down on the 27th.
Maybe you come on the 26th and we just have a little preliminary round.
All right, text me.
Okay. I'm gonna.
All right, do it.
Chris, thank you so much, man. It's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Man.
Yeah, and I hope this tour, 25 tour is going to be awesome, man.
Yeah, congrats.
I can't wait, man. It really is going to be good. Cooper, can you say bye?
Good effort, Coop.
Cooper's like, cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story, man.
Yeah, this guy is just a lazy man over here.
Hey, where can they go to find out? Where can listeners go to find out about your tour? IamChrisLane.com or where?
Yeah. IamChrisLane.com will have everything that they need.
All right, perfect.
Same for Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, and go check it out if you want to find out more about the tour dates and when Chris is going to be coming to your town. Thanks, buddy.
You're awesome, Chris.
Let's tee it up soon, boys.
Yeah,
dude,
absolutely.
I'm
absolutely.
Down.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Love that guy. Love him. He's a stud.
Why don't you marry him?
Well, take it easy. All right. I'm just saying he's a stud. He's a good guy.
He is, yeah.
All right.
It sounds like you.
And he's right at my golf level,
dude.
So we can play straight up. You'd have to give us 6 strokes a side.
You're crazy.
6 a side is fair.
No, it's not.
For a scratch golfer?
For a scratch golfer, it wouldn't be fair because you're not a 12. I'm not a scratch golfer. Do the math.
Okay, fine. I'll take 5 a side.
Nope.
5 a side.
No way, dude. Are you a 9? Are you a 9?
I'm a 9.8. I'm a 10. I'll round up. I'm a 10.
Okay, let's just do this. I'm a 3.
You're not. You're a scratch. I play with you. I know better.
Yeah, me too.
You can fool everybody around this area, all the people you hustle on the golf course, okay? But you can't hustle Mr. Fabulous, okay? You can't handle Thunder Road, okay?
What's wrong with your elbow? Is your elbow hurt?
No, that's not what I was doing.
You sure?
No.
I was just checking.
Hey, everybody.
I love you.
This has been Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
That's Gary and Claire.
Wait.
Oh.
Gary.
Yo.
Did you record all that?
God, I knew I was supposed to do
God
something.
Damn it. Oh,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Gary's the worst.
Fam.
Frown.